What if the woman you're trying to attract is no longer operating on human instinct, but on an algorithm? What if her desires, her turn-ons, even her fundamental perception of your value, are being silently rewritten by a force you can't see and she doesn't even recognize? This isn't a conspiracy theory. It's the new psychological reality of modern attraction. For thousands of years, female attraction was honed by evolution for survival, drawn to markers of strength, resources, stability, and character. But in just over a decade, that ancient, hardwired system has been hijacked. The primal drive that once sought a provider and protector now seeks validation from a digital crowd. The instinct that looked for a man to build a life with now compares him to a curated highlight reel of 1,000 others. The result is a profound neurological conflict, a brain running on ancient software, but being fed data from a modern, artificially engineered source. Welcome to the Great Rewiring. The first and most devastating shift is from intimacy to performance. In the past, attraction was a private, intimate exchange between two people. It was built on subtle cues, shared moments, and genuine connection. Today, for the modern woman, attraction has become a public performance. The question is no longer, do I feel a spark with him? But rather, what will my followers think when I post him? The man is no longer just a partner. He is an accessory in her personal brand narrative. He is assessed not for his character in private, but for his perceived value in her public digital ecosystem. Is he tall enough to be impressive in a photo? Does his lifestyle look exciting enough for her Instagram stories? Does his job title sound impressive in a bio? This transforms dating from a journey of mutual discovery into a constant, exhausting audition. You are not being evaluated against your own merits, but against the idealized, photoshopped, but algorithmically promoted versions of every other man in her digital orbit. This leads directly to the second rewiring, the addiction to perceived options. The human brain did not evolve to process infinite choice. Yet, through dating apps and social media, the modern woman is given the illusion of exactly that, an endless catalog of potential partners, always one swipe away. This creates a psychological phenomenon known as options paralysis, but in the realm of attraction, it's more destructive. It's options inflation. When she believes there is always a better, richer, taller, more exciting man just around the corner, her ability to commit to and appreciate the good man in front of her evaporates. Her attraction becomes fleeting, conditional, and perpetually unsatisfied. The dopamine hit comes not from building something real, but from the thrill of the next match, the next DM, the next potential upgrade. You cease to be a person to connect with and become an option to be managed. This constant comparison erodes the very foundation of attraction, focused attention. How can she feel genuine desire for you when her psychological energy is dispersed across 100 other digital possibilities? This fractured attention span then fuels the third critical change, the devaluation of substance and the overvaluation of aesthetics. Social media is a visual medium. It cannot transmit character, integrity, humor, or loyalty through a static image or a 15-second video. Consequently, what is rewarded and amplified is the superficial. The six-pack abs, the luxury watch, the exotic vacation backdrop, these become the primary metrics of male value. The quiet, steady man who builds a solid business, who is reliable and kind, who would be a phenomenal father and partner, becomes invisible. He has no social proof. He doesn't pop on a screen. His value is deep, but the algorithm is shallow. Her attraction circuitry, bombarded by these hyper-stimulating visuals, is recalibrated to respond only to the loud, the flashy. and the immediately impressive. This is why you see phenomenally capable, high-value men being passed over for influencers who offer little more than a well-curated facade. The fourth rewiring is perhaps the most insidious, the confusion of attention for attraction. On platforms like Instagram and TikTok, a woman's value is numerically quantified in likes, comments, and followers. She is conditioned to believe that male attention, in its cheapest, most readily available form, is the same as genuine attraction and desire. This creates a dangerous dependency. She begins to need the constant drip feed of validation from her digital audience to feel desirable. A man's sincere, focused interest in getting to know her feels slow, boring, and insufficient compared to the roaring crowd of 1,000 thirsty comments. You, as a single man trying to form a real bond, are now competing with the collective, fragmented attention of her entire online male audience. Your deep, singular focus is perceived as less valuable than their shallow, collective admiration. This warped value system then creates the fifth pattern, the rise of the situationship and the death of pursuit. Because her attention is fragmented and her options feel infinite, the motivation to lock down one man, to invest deeply, and to navigate the challenges of a real relationship diminishes. Why would she? The algorithm promises endless possibility. This leads to the situationship, a perpetual state of ambiguous, low-commitment connection that provides her with emotional and physical benefits without demanding the vulnerability or sacrifice of a real partnership. She gets the comfort of your presence while keeping her options open. The masculine instinct to pursue, to win over, to build a foundation is rendered obsolete. Your efforts to define the relationship are met with resistance, not because she's evil, but because her rewired brain sees commitment as closing the door on the infinite potential the digital world has promised her. The final, and most heartbreaking, rewiring is the erosion of authentic connection. When attraction becomes a performance, options feel infinite, substance is devalued, and attention is confused with desire. What remains is a hollow shell. The capacity for raw, unfiltered, vulnerable human connection atrophies. She becomes a connoisseur of profiles, but a novice at partnership. She can analyze an Instagram feed with the precision of a CIA analyst, but cannot hold a deep, emotionally present conversation over a candlelit dinner. The neurological pathways required for sustained intimacy, for working through conflict, for building shared meaning, they remain underdeveloped. While the pathways for swift judgment, comparison, while curation becomes superhighways. So what is the solution for the modern man? The answer is not to complain about the game, but to change your strategy entirely. You must become algorithm-proof. This means doubling down on the qualities the digital world cannot replicate. Cultivate a depth of character that can only be felt in person. Build a genuine, unshakable mission that gives your life purpose beyond seeking her validation. Develop social skills that create electric, real-world connections that no emoji can replicate. Become a man of such substantial, tangible value that his worth is obvious without a digital profile. Your piece must be more attractive than her drama. Your purpose must be more compelling than her follower count. Your presence must be more grounding than the chaotic noise of her notifications. Stop trying to win her in the digital arena where the rules are stacked against you. Instead, pull her into the real world. Create experiences so vivid, conversations so profound, and a presence so calm and assured that, for a few precious moments, she forgets to check her phone. You become the signal that cuts through the noise. The rewiring is real, but so is your power to transcend it. The choice is yours. continue to play a game designed to make you lose, or become so fundamentally real that the digital world becomes irrelevant. This has been DepthRealm. See the pattern. Protect your energy.